Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the chilling folklore of Bengal to deconstruct a classic horror antagonist, the MECHO BHOOT, or, as it's known, the fish ghost.
So our story kicks off not with some big, dramatic haunting, but with this really unsettling craving that crawls out of the dead of night. And it sets the stage for a very, very specific kind of terror.
Now imagine hearing this whispered through a door. That's the chilling demand that something has gone terribly, terribly wrong in this house. Yeah, it's a daughter's voice, but the hunger behind it, that's something else entirely.
Okay, let's get into the inciting incident. It all starts when a mother, Mandakini, is woken up by noises from the kitchen and finds something that's going to turn her world completely upside down.
What she finds is just horrifying. It's her daughter, Sugandha, covered in blood, just ravenously tearing into a raw fish. And when she confronts her, Sugandha speaks with this alien voice, claiming something fed her the fish and is now going to stay with her. Then, a second later, she just snaps out of it, totally horrified, with absolutely no memory of what just happened.
And if that wasn't terrifying enough, the very next morning, the terror just escalates. The family discovers these dismembered bodies of small animals scattered all around outside their home. And that's the moment, right? The problem shifts from some potential illness to an undeniable supernatural threat. They know they need help, fast.
So with the whole situation just spiraling out of control, the family's servant, Bhuvan, finally reveals what he knows. He's the one who provides the crucial context and finally puts a name to this malevolent force that has invaded their lives.
Bhuvan explains the local legend of the MECHO BHOOT. You see, it's a spirit that's bound to the nearby river. But here's the crucial part. Once you feed it fish, its hunger becomes this insatiable, escalating force. He warns them, look, this is just the beginning of a catastrophe, and this ghost, it's not going to spare anyone.
So, an exorcist, a Siddhaparish, is called to the house to confront the spirit. But just as the ritual gets started, the story takes this sharp, terrifying turn, revealing that this entity is far more deceptive than they ever could have imagined.
So the exorcist begins a kind of diagnostic ritual. He passes an enchanted iron nail over the bedridden Sugandha. Now, according to the folklore, a possessed person should react violently to this. But Sugandha, who everyone assumes is the host, remains completely still. No reaction at all.
But, get this, when the exorcist turns and performs the exact same ritual on the other daughter, Indrani, her reaction is immediate and just explosive. Her eyes turn red, and she screams at him to leave before she drinks his blood. And right there, the ghost's cunning is just laid bare. It used Sugandha as a decoy the whole time. You see, the night it first appeared, it was Indrani who opened her door, which allowed the spirit to transfer hosts. This is classic folk horror intelligence. This is not some mindless monster. It's a deceptive force that subverts expectations, making the obvious victim a piece of misdirection.
To provide undeniable proof to the absolutely horrified family, the exorcist forces a consecrated clove into Indrani's mouth. And moments later, she vomits the gruesome remains of the animals she'd consumed, confirming the terrible truth. The monster was hiding in plain sight. Okay, so now that they know who the real host is, the exorcist devises a very specific plan. And this isn't just about fighting the spirit, it's about exploiting its fundamental nature to banish it for good. The solution here isn't a direct assault, it's a trap. The exorcist uses the ghost's own defining characteristic, that insatiable hunger for fish, as bait. And this highlights a key principle of folk horror. You don't defeat the monster with brute force, you defeat it by understanding and following its ancient rules. And the ritual works. The spirit is lured out and destroyed, and Indrani is freed. But the psychological trauma is just too great. The family wastes no time at all. They get a transfer and abandon the haunted mansion by the river, leaving it empty once more. So what can we take away from all this? What does the story of the MECHO BHOOT really reveal about the mechanics of a classic folk horror antagonist? And why are these figures so enduringly terrifying?
Well, as we've seen, these elements are the building blocks of the MECHO BHOOT's character. It's not just some monster. It's an ancient territorial force with its own unbreakable logic. It has clear rules, a primal motivation, and a specific vulnerability. This is what makes folk horror so compelling. The horror operates on a system of ancient, forgotten rules. Ultimately, the story of the MECHO booth serves as a powerful reminder. In folklore, the true terror often comes from the landscape itself and the belief that ancient malevolent forces are bound to it, operating on rules we've long forgotten. Survival isn't about strength, it's about rediscovering and understanding those dark primordial secrets.